Hey guys, JT back once again and back in the record room. And, on Tuesday, I usually like to do a new vinyl buys Tuesday. And I got busy with a couple of other videos, and so I'm going to go ahead and do it here on Saturday. So let me get started. I have 5 records, new records to show, and pretty excited about having these records. And first of all, I'm going to go ahead and show Wild Honey by the Beach Boys. And this is the one where, this is from 1967. It followed Smiley Smile. And this is the record where, the boys really felt challenged to show that they could really rock and roll, well, like the other bands that were going out there. And they with this record, they really didn't want to fall into the psychedelic trap, so to say, that all the other bands, or not trap, but what a lot of the other bands were doing. They wanted to do something else, and of course Brian Wilson was behind all of this. And this record is really pretty bare bones. This is bass guitar, honky tonk piano, and organ, and that's really primarily the sounds and music that is on this record. So here's the back cover. Love this record. And Brian Wilson was also very, very into and influenced by Stevie Wonder during this time, around 1967. And you have great songs like, you have Wild Honey on here, Aren't You Glad? I Was Made to Love Her, Country Air, A Thing or Two, Darlin' is on here. It's just so very good. Great record. Really, really glad to have this. And I have picked up a number of Beach Boys records, all from Acoustic Sounds. And so next we have Spoon. And this band is from Austin, Texas. These guys formed the band right there in Austin in 1993. And you have Britt Daniel, really the brainchild of the Spoon band. Also Jim Eno on drums. And this album is just Telephono, so good. This was always on cassette and CD. There were, probably limited vinyl release back in the mid '90s for this, and this was just re-released not long ago. Actually, within the last 2 years. And here are the songs on the back. I love this band, and if you don't know Spoon, I'm sure a lot of you do. You're gonna say experimental rock, art rock. I mean indie rock. And you might compare the first one here, this debut, somewhat to the Pixies. So I really like this band a great deal. All right, there's Spoon. And next I got to show, wait a second. Yeah, we're going to do this one. I got to show the Blue Album, Weezer. And what's so fantastic about this album, this was recorded at Electric Lady Studios in New York City. That's why you have the great production on this record. And this Rivers Cuomo put this record out in 1994, but for a couple years in Los Angeles, he was trying to get this thing together, just could not get it together, and finally did. He did all the production just about by himself. In my opinion, the genius that Rivers Cuomo is. And he wanted to put this out on his own production and label. Eventually they did get Rick Ocasek from the Cars, also a great producer. And Rick produced this at Electric Lady in New York. And just every song on this is just so fantastic. I mean, you have My Name is Jonas, No One Else, The World Has Turned and Left Me Here, so good. Buddy Holly, the Sweater Song, Undone, Surf Wax America, Say It Ain't So, my favorite track on here. It's just so very good. And a little story about this record. When I was playing in the band in San Diego in 1999 and 2000, my roommate was the singer and songwriter of our band, me on lead guitar, Kai Clark, Gene Clark's son. And Kai every morning would play this Weezer album. I mean, every morning, from the first track to the last. And so I heard this one over and over and over again. And and every single time I just loved it. I love Weezer, love this record, love everything these guys do. All right, so that's Weezer. And next up, here we go. Here's a good one. These guys are out of Portland, Oregon. This record that I'm going to show is 40 years old now, and this is their debut record, punk rock, and you might say post-punk as well, and that is the Wipers. And I love this band. It's just so fantastic. Greg Sage is the you know, I think I'm going to say genius again for the Wipers, and this is from 1980. Just so very, very good. So influential to many bands that followed the Wipers. Nirvana loved these guys, definitely. And you have Alien Boy on here. Is This Real? Suicide. Every track on this record is just fantastic. This was re-released on Jackpot Records around 2005 or 6. There is a great box set on CD as well. It's called the Wipers Box, something like that. It has a purple cover. Anything by the Wipers, I highly, highly recommend. And here's the hype. All right, and one more record to show. Got this in the mail, and here we go. Tonight's the Night, Neil Young. And I remember when this record came out in 1975. For a long time, there was word that there was going to be a new Neil album, like in '74. Didn't happen. He actually, now I know this record was, a lot of it was recorded and thought about in 1973. And we know, a lot of us know that a lot of this record is really, really about what happened to Neil, the two friends that he lost. He lost Danny Whitten in this year, 1973. The great, great Danny Whitten, the great singer, guitar player, songwriter, Neil's partner and friend. And Danny Whitten overdosed earlier that year. And Neil definitely felt guilty for that. He felt saddened and somewhat guilty at the time, had a hard time getting over Danny Whitten. And then soon thereafter, Bruce Berry, you know, he's in the song Tonight's the Night. Bruce Berry also OD'd. And we don't need to go into what, you know, the substance was or whatever, but it happened, and it really heavily bummed Neil Young out, for sure. But this album is just so great, so raw, organic. And let me show you the back cover here. Love this album, every track. And one thing I want to say about this album, by far my favorite track, I just love Albuquerque. And if you don't know it, you guys, I highly recommend you to give it a spin. Albuquerque on Tonight's the Night. And this is from 1975. Such a great record. And this is going to sound great, you guys. Really happy to get this. And really glad that I could do a new vinyl buys here on Saturday. And I'm going to get back on it on next Tuesday. Have more videos to come. And hey, guys, take care. And wherever you are, please stay safe. Okay? All right. Thanks a lot.